All right, I'm telling people I am live right now. Let me just slide over here.
And we're live.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And then I got the Brady
What's up
Bunch
on my
scene.
phone?
The Brady Bunch scene.
Oh my god.
Hi,
you do.
Leshy. Oh yeah, and as always, if the music's too loud, please let me know.
I do have that clicky keyboard on. And like that, we're back.
Dude.
Whoop.
Oh my god, you guys look so amazing.
You guys look amazing.
How are you guys my
Like that.
friends?
How are you guys my friends? Like, oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my
so this isn't part of the interview questions, but I was trying to remember. Maybe you can remember. How did we start talking to each other? Do you remember?
You?
I think,
Oh, sorry.
like, I think it started with one of us being gay at the other one. I'm basically certain. Because if there is one thing we are consistently, it is gay.
It is. It is. I followed you because Veggie was following you on TikTok, and was sending me your TikToks, and I'm like, oh, I'm gay, and I'm following, and I'm stalking, and that's how it goes.
How weird
I
we
can
both
make
stalk
it
her.
better.
Uh-oh.
I can make it better. How tall are each of you?
I'm like
5'6".
5'5".
I am 5'9", 5'11"
I've
in heels.
seen your pictures, and you know what? And I was gonna suggest to you, you should be our she should cosplay Lady D, and we should be her daughters.
My
Wouldn't
god, that
be
would be amazing.
I heard that, and that's the only Resident Evil that we've actually played, and it's the one that's getting us to go back because everybody's like, well, that wasn't a good representation of Resident Evil, like it was a great game, and I'm like, okay, but we're gonna go play 4, and then I'll probably consider Lady D. Like it's been suggested. It depends on what Paladin, if he wants to cosplay from it, because that boy he do be attached, like. I don't know. He like manifested a leash and decided I was whipping him. I don't know. No, he is a very very loving man, and I have to make sure because everything we do is like
Together.
couples or characters that are severely connected to each other. I have to make sure that he wants to do it, and let me tell you, I'm pretty sure if I told him to be Chris Redfield, he might do it, but not what's the guy's name?
Ethan?
Ethan, probably not Ethan. Actually, you know what? All I have to do is ask him to be Heisenberg. And
Yeah, I was about to
fine.
say Heisenberg.
He's gonna be like, no, don't ask me another question. I will do it.
I call
I'll be
him
like,
Magneto because he's pretty much a hot Magneto. Well, I guess Magneto's pretty hot too. So
Oh yeah, he is. Listen.
Well, looks like we have a few people in the chat. Hi, everybody. Should we do like a proper introduction of our first cosplay guest?
Yes, you do it because you're the talent. Introduce her.
Oh, the talent.
The talent.
Ha ha, funny. Okay, everybody.
Thank you for saying so.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, everybody, I would like to introduce you to Mama Tara.
Ooh, wave mama. Hey.
If you'd like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and
Sure. It's really weird being like live and not doing my Twitch startup because I've developed cultists. I've turned a bunch of 40-year-old men into cultists. Fantastic.
Good.
It's good behavior. No, like they're 100% good boys. They all have kids. It's great. But hi, I'm your Mama Tara. I'm a retro streamer, retro gamer, and more specifically, retro cosplayer, specifically retro RPGs. I never expected to be a retro cosplayer, but those games had such a profound effect on me as a kid that I just kind of stayed with it my whole life, and I didn't get to play, basic PlayStation games until I was in high school. And so I was always at times 5 years to a decade behind in gaming, and I just kind of like never grew out of it. And so I hit the cosplay scene. There was the old dark trope of the past. I had that and that scared me off of cosplay for a long time. And then when I came back to it, I went, you know what, screw it, I'm building from Final Fantasy VI, and the nation was born.
Yay!
My first cosplay was a man.
Oh,
what was your first cosplay?
Cecil?
It was Setzer.
Oh.
It was Setzer Cabiani, the gambler from Final Fantasy VI, because I'm never gonna not be in love with that man.
You're so
I love it. I love it.
He's amazing. So yeah, it's not. I tell people it's not all that exciting, and I mean that, because more often than not, I don't get recognized. And it's hard to explain to people how easy it is to be comfortable at a convention and not have your picture taken. Nobody believes me. We have the world of, social media. It's ingrained in our lives now. Everybody wants to be famous. It's the same as it's been since people started telling stories and banging rocks together when man first stood upright, It's tales old as time. And people can't separate from that views and likes world and go, what do you mean you don't care? Because I'm not doing it for anybody else. I cosplay this character because she means something to me. And it turns a lot of heads. People just go, wait, we can do that? Of course you can do that. But you have to have, there is a little bit of a spine involved, because I have gone to a whole convention. It was Cecil and Rosa. Nobody knew who we were. Not a single person.
That's crazy.
Except our photographer. We had, actually, that is not true. I had the fangirl terrified moment of a lifetime because, well, I'll tell the story when you're ready for it.
Oh, okay.
It is one of my favorite cosplay stories. Ooh. And it made me think a little bit better of myself than I did before.
So let's
go ahead and share it. Yeah, just jump right into it. We're not on a set schedule.
Oh yeah, that's fine. There was this set of cosplayers that was here in Texas that their whole thing was Sailor Moon. They were a full Sailor Moon group. They did all kinds of stuff. They're retired now. And they did Madoka Magica and all of that as well, just big groups. And they announced that they were doing a Final Fantasy X group one year. And it was 2019. We had just come back. I was just then starting to figure out that I was disabled, all that kind of stuff. And I was so excited because I was going to meet their Sailor Mars. And I messaged her on Instagram with the full audacity of, hey, I would really like to meet you. Can you come downstairs? They had no idea who I was. And this Sailor Mars comes down the stairs, and I'm super excited because she's standing there, gorgeous to the nines, perfect, in Riku from Final Fantasy X. Her girlfriend is there as Yuna. And their bestie is their Lulu. And they all looked flawless. And I was stunned because I'm looking at this Yuna. And this woman had the guts to not put a seam in a knit fabric for accuracy. And I was like, I cannot even begin to aspire to that level of dedication. What I didn't realize is she didn't have time to do it. I'm here fangirling thinking she's the greatest person, the greatest cosplayer in the world for having no fear, and didn't realize that I had offended her. But I had a great time talking to the Sailor Mars and then all kinds of fun stuff. And then a couple of cons go by and I'm terrified because at that point I've realized that I was a total jerk. And I had debuted my big Dead of Winter build that I had done, which falls off me now and makes me very sad. So, periodically I would run into them and I would get really nervous. And there was, this side eye from a couple of them at me. And, okay, that's fully understandable. And, I get it, dude. I don't blame you. But fast forward to 2022. Yeah, 2022. We're out on Saturday it was Friday in Terra and Locke. Okay, that's our flagship. We do it everywhere. It's these are what we're most comfortable in. And this small, spunky individual comes barreling across the con hall, yelling Terra. And she stops in front of me. This is O Mitsuki. O Mitsuki took the championship at Holiday Matsuri for her CL. From a manga build CL with the top hat and the lace veil hanging off the back of the coat. She made the lace She like literally made all the little patterns and digitized it, and blow my mind. But she comes running up to me. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I love Locket Terra. We're gonna be them tomorrow. And I was like, oh my god. Okay.
Oh,
we're
wow.
gonna be at the cosplay contest tomorrow. Are you competing? Yes, we're competing. Okay. Well, I get to see you guys because oh my god, this is so cool. And she was like, yes. What are you guys competing as? Cecil and Rosa. That's their favorite Final Fantasy.
Oh.
But they had always like the Sailor Mars had set off this Terra for years. And I had like an inkling, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But so I'm standing outside this room, outside the the contest hall with no idea that of what was about to happen. But the lock, Omitsuki comes running up to me, and she's like, "Oh my god, you look amazing!" And this is one of the best damn lock calls I've ever seen. I'm sweating. It was that good. It was just incredible. And she's excited, and we're talking. She's like, "Oh my god, it's better than I thought it would be," and like losing her mind. And that's about the time I fell in love with her. She's like, "Okay, my Terra is coming," and there's the Sailor Mars, and I'm thinking, she is going to eat me alive. Nope. Perfectly delightful the entire time. She and my husband connected on a nerd level that I was not prepared for. They're both aerospace engineers.
Oh wow!
And they just like he asked, "Do you mind if I ask what you do for a living?" And she like looks around a little nervously, which there's a whole thing about that. She says, "I'm an aerospace engineer," and he's like, or no, he was the one who said aerospace engineer first, and then she got all excited. It was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" And they like nerded out on the way in, and I'm just watching a Terra and a Celis just. I was like, this is correct. Dissidia, thank you. But during this contest, of course, we were separated, master's class and otherwise, and I'm telling you, these builds were gorgeous. And I'm over there, they come on stage, I'm screaming, I'm losing my mind, because nobody's gonna know who they are. Nobody's gonna know who they are. And then I scuttle around the corner, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go congratulate them, but I'm really scared because she's gonna be mad at me. No, she was actually really like cool with me coming over and checking on her because she was like a little flustered and all of that, because it's a contest, you get flustered. And then I leave her alone, and I just leave. Like I don't want to make her mad. Poor little old me. Don't want to make her mad. A couple of days later, I get like after the con, I get an Instagram message that's basically, I was really excited to meet you again, and I had been wanting to reconnect with you for a couple years. And like she wasn't like actually doing that, but that was
probably was.
And she's like, I really liked your Cecil and Rosa. That's like my favorite, and I'm so glad that you liked my Terra because you're like so famous for your Terra. And I'm like, you cannot blue screen or restart me hard enough to comprehend what just happened. So. Probably one of my favorite things. Yeah, I was
I
like
love that.
Oh, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Yeah. But to anybody who wants to do any kind of retro gaming cosplay, just do it, but when you do it, be prepared because nobody is going to know who you are. And the people that do are all going to be older. If your game or anime like doesn't have a remake or a redub, you might have like a couple 40-year-old guys that are like, oh my god, that's my favorite character. And that's just something you got to be prepared for. The older game, like when you get into retro games, that's where some of the more toxic video game fandoms are. Like we all know about Call of Duty, but we also all know about Final Fantasy VII. Like, can we please? So yeah. You just have to be ready for there to be a lot of nonsense, and some pretty heinous things have been said to me.
Like, what do you mean heinous things?
I have had, I think, 4 death threats at this point for cosplaying Terra. For cosplaying Terra instead of Celis. And one of the craziest things in the world is the argument over hair color. The great hair color argument.
Oh, gosh.
The Amano argument. I'm going to make this as dramatic as I can because it's the dumbest thing in the world. It takes 2 minutes or less on Google to understand what actually happened there. And oh my god, it's a lot. So yeah, it's
well, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You really
People get really aggressive over it. Thank you so much. Her blonde wig is actually platinum, but it is the same wig itself. Same style of wig pulled up. So yeah, I didn't think I was going to enjoy the blonde because I was pretty toxic about it for a long time, and then I was like, you know what? I don't actually think that way anymore, and I'm gonna retry it because everybody's a dumb teenager for real. Everybody's a dumb teenager. And then I watched somebody else who was a Terra stan go crazy over it at somebody for preferring the blonde, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm sorry, who has time for that?
Right?
Like, goodness.
I don't know a single housewife that has time for that because I'm one and I don't. Like, I don't have the damn energy. Like, I got laundry to do. Get out of my way. But, yeah, the debate. If anybody ever comes at you about the debate,
the blonde versus the light green.
Just punch them.
Well, yes, but if you don't want to go to jail, you can just remind them that Aerith and Garnet are also blonde, so they can shut the fuck up. By that logic, they are also blonde. Like, I don't think Amano actually enjoyed 7 that much, which is weird to me because Aerith is a character he normally gravitates towards, the kind that he likes to design. But after he like got on the Terra train and then never got off, I'm kind of not surprised, but at the same time kind of surprised. So that whole thing, it's a load of nonsense. The everybody thinks Amano designed the characters. Amano did character art. That is not designing a character. A woman by the name of Kazuko Shibuya, I believe is her last name, was the pixel artist from Final Fantasy 1 through Final Fantasy 6, and then came back for a stint on 9. And actually just did an interview with Kitase and Sakaguchi, the showrunners from the original games. And she's the one who gave Terra green hair. She finalized it when she was tired of blondes. And that game has like 4 blondes right out of the gate, okay?
It really does, yep.
And Amano do like his, I call them the blonde big booty bitches, because they're all pear shapes and they're all blonde. It's fantastic, like god tier taste, but come on. So she's the one who actually chose the green hair. So when you watch people get all up in arms about Amano, I'm just sitting here like, he didn't actually have all that much power. They chose to do the blonde because they wanted her to look a little bit more dramatic for Dissidia, but then you can immediately turn around and get her green haired skin at the end of the game, which also has a different dress. And she has more outfits than any other character in Final Fantasy and any other game. It's nonsense.
They act like women don't change their hair color like every month. Come on.
Thank you. Like, everybody wants to be a redhead. When she's a redhead, don't go near her. As a natural redhead, don't go near me. Do not. Yeah, just avoid it all.
In your
possible.
chaos era.
Oh, I just don't shut up. I have ADHD, and I just gonna tell ya. So yes, sorry, we got like off on a tangent there. We got 3 tangents. I told you I would. That is the wrong there. Okay.
Oh, so
well, we are so excited to have you tonight. I know our chat's blowing up.
Oh God, so, I can't see it. So.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of people in our chat. Let's see.
We'll take it.
I saw somebody say that they loved you. Trying to scroll. People are talking about aerospace engineers. Gotta love space travel.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I am terrified of my husband's intelligence. He is actually at work right now because he had to go back after his freaking master's class. Okay, we're talking, you know those images in movies where they have the crazy math problem going across like 3 different chalkboards? I've seen them. They're real.
Ooh, that just goes way over my head.
I have dyscalculia. I can't do it. I don't speak math. It actually gives me anxiety attacks. And then he walks in and just like Paladin armor goes, "Fear not, beloved, I shall handle the math for you." You act like it's a fight, but it's like your favorite thing in the world.
Okay, but that's a real hero right there. I wish somebody would come up.
Like, I mean, I wash the dishes and fold his laundry, and he does the math. That's fair.
Equal trade. Equal trade.
And I only fold the laundry because I do it so fast, and I'm like, I'm just here. I'm gonna do this. This is years of retail. Just I'm gonna watch Murder She Wrote, and I'm gonna fold laundry. Like, come on, don't get in my way. It's a freaking 30-year-old show, and I'm still watching it.
I love it.
God.
So actually, you brought up the whole wig thing before. I kind of talked to you on Discord a little bit. Before this podcast, and you asked me like, which wig do you want me to wear? And I'm like, wear whatever you want, whatever you like best. So
this is the one that makes me nervous because she does not like to hold a curl anymore, and I don't know why. So I like have to, now that I'm wearing her, I know, like, I chose this one so I knew what I had to go fix up before the con. So I'm like, yay, but I don't want to touch the blonde one because I'm afraid that if I look at her again, she's gonna uncurl too. But that's the weight of the fiber on this wig. It's not bad fiber. It's just this wig is literally hip length. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it looks beautiful.
Thank
you.
Especially with those contacts. Ugh, like.
I know, your eyes, like, I'm just mesmerized and, like, drawn to them.
And the lipstick.
Oh my god, okay. I don't gatekeep. The contacts are called Angelic. You can find them all over the place. They are a brilliant turquoise when you see them, and then they have like this weird little werewolfy lines going in on the outside, and I actually chose them because of how inhuman they looked for Tara. Because I'm like all about her uncanny valley-ness. That nobody ever talks about. Like, this woman looks weird. She's gotta look weird. There's something wrong with her. Like, we're here for it. But the lipstick is from Black Moon Cosmetics.
Ooh, yes, I live in mine. I love it.
It's called Armageddon, and I'm like, listen, the only other way to get me to buy lipstick, like, you name it, Sea Hag, Armageddon, Barbarian, start naming it after the ships from Halo. Like, I'm gonna buy it. I'm not even gonna question it. You come at me with a lipstick called Pillar of Autumn, I'm buying it. Like, come on. Oh,
yeah, their stuff's really good.
Oh, it's wonderful. I bought their green one too.
Ooh, I just have the black.
I'm weird. When I put on lipstick, I'm like, oh, I look good. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm like, wiping it off my face.
Oh, yeah. Black Moon those will stay. Like, it takes effort to scrub them off at the end of the day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's perfect for black.
I have a very interesting situation when it comes to makeup for me because I have hyperhidrosis, and this is a dialogue that I feel like we need to have in the cosplay
I'm sorry,
community.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
I'm gonna explain because it's important.
I'm done. Thank you.
Hyperhidrosis is excessive sweating, clinical excessive sweating. It means that you literally have a skin condition where you are making yourself sick because your skin will not stop sweating. There's nothing you can do. You can take diuretic pills to like stop them, but it also dehydrates you and causes several other problems. So when I'm at con and you meet me, I'm on like 2 pills and I'm worshiping my deodorant. Like, it is in my bag. Just seriously, it's in my bag. And if y'all want to go put on deodorant, go into the corner and put it on, or just stand here and put it on because at least we know you're wearing it. Like, come on. But it's with body odor finally being addressed at cons. Thank God. But the reason I'm talking about it is makeup does not like hyperhidrosis skin. It just like shears off because your skin is just it just has that extra layer of moisture that is actively dehydrating you at all times. So my experience, especially with lipstick, because it extends to salivary glands. So I've always got, way too much saliva in my mouth, so I'm constantly swallowing all kinds of stuff, and that wrecks lipstick. So like my test here for all makeups is, will it last on me? And if it does, I tell everybody about it. Fenty
I was about to say, I need some tips now.
Oh man, the Fenty Beauty skin tints these days, don't budge. I don't even need primer.
Ooh.
I don't need primer. If I'm going outside in cosplay, I use this like, I don't think it's Maron. It's I want to say industrial strength It's I think it might be Ben Nye. I want to say industrial strength, but it's just stage proof like makeup spray where you're literally spraying your face with essentially
it's
hairspray.
Probably the Ben Nye because I used to use that stuff.
And you can add,
it doesn't move.
There's one where you can add droplets to your foundation. That stuff, let me tell you, if you sweat, one, there's nothing wrong with you. Your body is either fighting you or working because that's what skin is supposed to do. It's sweat. This is also why we take showers, like for real. But yeah, I had just have this long backlog of makeup that I basically worship. And let me tell you, being able to go through those bigger names in makeup, like you go to Ulta or Sephora and you buy what is it, KVD, and being able to stand there and go, this does not work definitively because of what your body does, and being able to tell other people with your problem, don't. You can save them so much money and trouble. Like KVD works on everybody else, but on us. And that means if you're in cosplay at a con, it's hot. It could be the middle of summer, blizzard outside. It's hot. Everybody's sweating. Use the good.
Especially in California.
Oh boy, Texas has humidity.
Oh yeah, Texas. I can imagine.
California. Let me tell you, I miss California dryness more than anything else on the planet. I can handle heat. I can't handle humidity.
Yeah, we're from the South, so we know too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Alabama summers.
Oh my God, not me, child, not me. I'm out. Listen, I did not get out of the car until I think Tampa.
Even that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we got lucky. We were there in December, but like, what are you gonna do? But you get it, and I'm glad you get it. So.
Yes. Did it snow where you are? Because everybody in that like side of the world or side of these states are like snowed in.
I think it snowed a bit in Dallas, but it is not what Texas has declared Snowmageddon from 2021.
Yes, we'll never forget it.
Oh God. It was actually terrifying. I left California.
Yeah. Sorry, fun.
No, they do it. They do it all the time on stream. You're fine. You're in good company. The stream is largely full of older men, not because of the games or me. It's because they want to hurt me with the puns. It's physical damage. So they're there for it. It's great. But Snowmageddon, it snowed, I want to say, a foot and a half, and the state fell apart in a not funny way.
Oof.
Having gone from California to Denver and never having experienced snow before, I got the blessing of experiencing snow in a place that was used to it. Texas doesn't take care of their roads. They don't bevel their roads, even though they get hurricanes here. There's no such thing as a storm drain. Their bridges, their overpasses crumble in cold weather. They have to close the highways because those bridges can't support the weight of a tractor trailer. And just watching all of that, and then of course we lost power because of the grid, and only our windmills were working, and 40% power in the state at that time was from the windmills. Those windmills were the reason that we had hospitals. It was insane.
And this was 2021?
2021, February.
Oh my goodness. I must live under a rock.
Girl, yes, you must.
I'm sorry.
Be under one, because I remember that was all over the news.
Oh man, like the whole place shut down. And then like when it started, everybody was laughing, and then the horrors started. Because, you know, the houses are open and airy because it gets so hot. You want to be able to cool your house. But the grid isn't maintained, and there's, you know, a lot of unfortunate reasons for that we all know and makes us all mad. But so everybody lost power, and like I said, those hospitals stayed open or stayed running, but the nursing facilities didn't. Elder care shut down, child care shut down. What schools were open had to close because they couldn't heat the classrooms. It was horrifying. 1.5 feet of snow. Everybody's out playing in it, but they couldn't warm up at night. I had friends that made a tent in their living room with a bunch of sheets just to pull their cats in there because their cats were freezing. They were shaking. Oh. And I'm like, this state, you can't expect people that have never experienced this to deal with it. The last time it snowed in the city I live in was in 1989.
Oh my
Prior.
goodness.
I think it was 89. It was late 80s, early 90s. So yeah, big scary. It started snowing. Okay. And my dumbass, okay. I look out the front door and I see snow and I turn to my husband and I yell, "Husband! I need your help." And I run in here, well, into that craft room I had moved, and I threw on Tara as fast as I could. And I grabbed my wooden sword. And we did this video of me launching out the front door. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done to Tara's theme. And I'm standing in the cul-de-sac like, "Bro, I'm cool." Those are cars and a streetlight in the background. But bro, I'm cool. I'm 34 and cool. Like, "No, ma'am. No, you're not. Okay." But
You're still cool.
Thank you.
So cool.
We think so. We think so.
Cool.
Thank you. But it was like, oh my God, I was so happy. And then I tried like the next day, I put Shala on to run out in the yard, but it was too windy and
You're like,
camera
nope,
kept
nope,
falling
nope.
over. Well, no, it was the camera that said no. I was like, "I'm fine. I don't
the camera,
care."
not me.
Like, well, see, in Colorado, I used to walk around barefoot in the snow, actually, and on ice.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't bother me. It just didn't bother me. Frostbite was like, "Nah, I'm not dealing with you." I'm like, okay, fine, be that way. Don't blacken my toes. Anyway.
Hey, Veggie. Sir Rathcore asked if we remember the Alabama blizzard of '93.
Actually, I do, because I built this
Oh
snowman.
man.
Oh, I was, what, 2? So no, I don't remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're younger than me, but no, I remember it because I think that's the first time I ever built a snowman, and my mom has pictures of me in my little mittens, like.
By 93, I would have been in. Oh God, I was born in 87, so probably second grade.
Aw.
And what I do remember is actually from 94. The Northridge earthquake hit California and destroyed Northridge and part of LA. And oh my God, the destruction. And in the middle of all of this, my brain went, "I want to do that for a living." Like, oh, okay. I mean, we'll
Wait,
try.
do what for a living?
So I was a science kid. My dad was a computer engineer that worked with the space program, the International Space Station. He's one of the guys that helped program it. I gesticulate, I'm sorry. But, so he helped put that up there. So Take Your Kid to Work Day for me was, these are shuttle engines. This is where we built them. And there's one right there and you can go touch it. And I was like,
Ooh.
okay. So when the earthquake hit us, and I was already a science kid, everything started shaking, and I was sound asleep. I thought it was like the dog was in the bed and just scratching herself because the whole bed did it. And then my mother came barreling in, like panicking, "Get up, we just had an earthquake." And I'm like, "Why are you mad that the dog scratched herself?" But anyway, it was all happening. I mean, then we had aftershocks for about a week later.
Oh
And my
gosh.
brain was like, "I need to understand this exact geologic process." And then I got really big into it. I wanted to be a paleontologist, and then I wanted to be a geologist, and then I wanted to be a rocket scientist. And then I went for a stint where I wanted to be a historian for a little bit. I don't know what happened there. And then I wanted to be a dentist, and that didn't go far. And then when I actually got into community college and I was trying to go for a degree, it was geology. My dream was to work for the USGS, the United States Geologic Survey, which basically, if it's a rock on US soil, they're studying it. And my specialty was going to be seismology and volcanology. So I can thank that earthquake in 94.
Wow, I'm actually really impressed. I'm like,
yeah.
Why?
Make me feel insignificant.
I was say much better than my major. I majored in weeb.
I mean, goals, but for real, I did too. Honestly, you discovered snow when you were that age, and most children run from snow, especially when it's cold. So building a snowman is kind of a feat. That's impressive.
You're cracking me up right now.
Your accomplishment in life.
Everyone clap for me.
There you go. No, like for real, living in Colorado and, going with my parents to their events, there were always babies at these events and toddlers, and they would not go outside in the snow. They wouldn't touch it. And it was always so weird to me. Probably smart. I'm not smart. Barefoot in the snow. Come on.
Hey, I'm a redneck kid. I was out in the snow barefoot as well.
I mean, you get it. You get it. No, if you live in an area where there's wilderness to any degree, you are not going to be smart about it. I am a classic white girl. I do try to pet it, okay? My husband is worse. He thinks we need to befriend everything. No, no paladin. That is a grizzly bear. But if it's not for pets,
cute.
Exactly.
Why is it friend shaped?
Why does it have those ears?
So
Exactly.
Paladin, we are not getting a great fisher owl. We can't take care of him. But
cute.
it's for Gallifrey. And then he gestures at my cowardly lion of a cat. Gallifrey
Aw,
does not need
Gallifrey.
a fisher
Is that a
owl.
Doctor Who reference?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I kind of know that stuff.
He is also quite a large cat and can verify that he is bigger on the inside.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so cute.
is he a big chunk? Is he a big chunky boy?
No, actually, his teeth had to all be removed, and we did not know that he was in danger until he started losing drastic amounts of weight. So we are trying to achieve Big Chonk again. He will become Big Chonk.
He has no teeth.
He has no teeth.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but it sounds really
No, it's
cute.
funny as hell. It's funny as
Okay.
hell. It's
Oh.
especially when he opens his mouth to howl at me for food, and there's just nothing there, and I can't stop laughing. I'm like, I'm sorry, baby. It's so cute. Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah, I need to see a video or picture or something.
Oh man, I wish I could. I'll go in the kitchen. I'll go open the fridge, and he'll come in howling, and I'll be like, "Here, just look at this dumb."
Please do a video just for me, just so I can see your cat go.
He is the loudest. Oh my god. He and his sister were both just loud as hell. I've never seen cats that loud. Oh my god, I've never felt so yelled at in my life, and my mother never shut up. Like this cat. Oh my god, these cats. They go for the throat, man. Like they'd kill me in my sleep if I don't feed them right now. Worth it.
Exactly. Yes. I'm there with you, girl.
Oh man. Yeah, we have five cats, and they all have pop culture names. I was like, what the hell is the word for nerd shit? They all have nerdy names. It's great.
Aww.
Yeah, and they have middle names too. It's bad. Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Well, you know you have to tell us the names now. You just can't be like 30 names.
You
And then,
can't just like end it like that.
yeah.
I wish I could pull up a picture for one of them. The Countess Alice Kingsley, last name redacted for safety, she is named after Alice in Wonderland. I am not an Alice in Wonderland fan, but all of our cats were strays. Hold on, you're gonna love this. All of our cats were strays. And Alice decided she lived with us. I didn't have a choice. She burst in my front door, ran into the house, planted all 4 feet in the food bowl, and started eating.
Aw.
Alice is a flame point Siamese with ice blue eyes.
Oh, wow.
She is
Aw.
white with blonde tips, and I call her the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Because I'm a Kaiba girl, so.
Oh my god. She is my husband's baby. I am the other woman. Unless he's not around. But oh my god, she is the bee's knees. And it was funny because I didn't know what to do with this cat. And why did I call her Alice? Well, she came in my house and then she just wandered around confused until she decided she owned it. And then I was afraid she was going to make herself sick because of how fast she was eating. So I took the food away and she opens her mouth. And proper Siamese cat format, Cher came out into my living room and started singing. And I was like, this is
so cute.
Hair?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, your cat is named Cher?
No, her name is Alice. But,
She said she
I was
sang like
wait,
Cher.
she's saying like Cher. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
I'm sorry.
okay.
No, yeah. I like Cher, and that was the only diva that
I saw Cher in concert when I was a kid.
I'm so jealous. Oh my god.
What?
I was in high school and my mother would not let me go with her, knowing that I was a huge fan, because the show would be too inappropriate. Mother,
She's probably right, honestly, because I went when I was a kid and I saw a lot of things that night.
I would have been the happiest clam in the world. At that time, I did not know that I was pan as fuck. And
Now you're like, it makes sense. I love Cher.
Yeah, that's
I
a
love
red
Cher,
flag for
and
sure.
put me in the front row with the drag queens. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna have the best time of my life. Okay. So
Amazing.
my life became, sorry, Mom, you probably.
And I
never
remember
gotten
it.
It's Cher's fault. It's just Cher's fault.
It's
Blame
fault.
Cher.
And
Yeah.
Elton John.
And
Yes,
Elton John. Yeah,
yes.
Elton John should be assigned too.
I just
his
remember
fault.
the concert. Well, I remember her singing 'cause I did like Cher. I grew up. My mom had me when she was super old, so like I was listening to the
late.
oldies. So I liked Sonny and Cher, and so we went to the Cher concert, and I remember at this concert in particular, someone stole her wig, and it was all over our local news, trying to figure out who stole Cher's wig.
Oh my
Where's the wig?
Yeah, this is a true story, and I remember it to this day.
Yeah, she regularly changes out for wigs. She's in her 70s, so her hair is probably a lot
real
better.
hair.
Nope. She's if you ever go to one of her shows, she changes hair colors like 5 times. She's always worn wigs. That's part of why she's such a drag icon. Is that she has always been open about the fact that she wears all these costumes and all these things, and then she came out of nowhere and was like, "I have a son now. This is my son. I've given birth. He's 21 years old." And basically, the LGBT community just went, "We love you more now. Would you like more of our money?" And I was like, "Okay, that's vibe." But yeah, Cher. Oh man, I really wish I could.
We really are all over the place talking about Cher.
We are. Yeah. But that's Alice. I'm gonna go through these really quick.
Oh,
I
yes,
have
yes.
Jillian. I have Jillian, who's the one you might meet. She's named after Gillian Anderson from The X-Files, another stellar redhead. We have obviously Gallifrey. Think really quick. Yeah, that's 4. I can't count. That's 4. And
Wait,
then
ask your
Midna.
husband. Quick. How many cats do we have? If he's your math person.
It's 5, trust me. He's in the kitchen. Otherwise, I'd be like, get the f in here. Our newest addition is Midna. We actually lost 2 last year within a month of each other, which is how I got mixed up. But Midna showed up, and that's the Legend of Zelda. What's hilarious? The cat distribution system, the pet distribution system works, and it's preemptive because one of the cats we lost last year was the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Oh,
So
wait, that was her
Midna
name? Majora's
Yes.
Mask?
Her name was the full length of the game. I called her Zelda. Why did I name her this? Because I have no chill.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and she went out in proper nerd style to Terra's theme, and we played Majora's Mask all day with her. So
That's
Yeah.
my favorite game.
oh my god, I know a lot of people don't like it. For me, it's the theming. It's the theming, and honestly, the way that they handle time in that, and the way that you lose things. There's so many concepts that I couldn't go into, but we're supposed to be talking about.
If we talk about Majora's Mask, I'll probably end up crying by the end of the night.
I love that game. Oh my god. We have been turning on a perfect playthrough of the DS remaster, remake, whatever it is, to go to sleep at night, and
I know.
boy, it is so good. But my second favorite is Twilight Princess. So of course she's Midna, and her middle name is the name of our first cat, Rook, who was named after the chess piece. And yes, he was a massive black cat, just like Midna is trying to be. And so he was my Rookery. He was my king of penguins. And now her name is Midna Rookery.
Oh,
So,
that's cute.
yeah, and she acts like him too. It's hilarious. There's only one brain cell between black cats and orange cats, and we never know who has it at any time. But if you shake them, you can hear it rattling around. Don't shake the cat. Just wait for her to jump off a counter when she's doing something wrong, and you'll hear it. Like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
oh, she has void mode. It's hilarious. The eyes open, and it's just like, can you see the entire universe, baby? Are you in
And then
there?
there's not a thought behind those eyes.
Aw.
No, we just look
Not
at her
a
when
thought.
she does it, and we just go void. Like this. She's gone, guys. She's
gone.
She'll be back. She'll be back from the moon someday. I don't know when that is.
Living her best cat life.
Oh my god, this cat is a maniac. I love her so much.
Oh, yes, those are the
Absolutely
best.
no chill. Absolutely no chill.
Well, since we only
keep
have
going in and
45
out of-
minutes left.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna say, Veggie, you had like a plan, like you had interview
a plan.
questions.
Well, it's just
It's a
an
plan.
outline, you know. Like,
Oh, okay.
it's just
We
in
knew
case.
what we were in for.
Yeah, like it's
I was
just
like,
in
oh my
case
God, it's
like
8:15.
we're like sitting here staring at each other, going, like, what do we do next? I have like a little
Oh,
outline.
okay, okay.
It's a lot of, oh my God, I'm so gay and holy crap, you're the coolest person in the world. Why are you talking to me? Like, I'm sitting here
I mean,
like,
yeah, I could do that for
listen.
45
Oh, I will
Listen.
pause for this though. Vienna Mori once again gifted a tier 3 sub to someone because she's psycho.
Thank you, Vienna.
You're nuts, dude.
Oh, we love it. I've
Yes.
got people on my stream that do that. It's, oh God. Y'all are the real winners, let me tell you. This, without subscribers, none of this would be possible. It's just, that is the absolute truth of a Twitch or a YouTube stream. You guys that gift the subs, that pay for subs, streams happen and get better and better and better because of how much you give. And that's no small feat. That's
Yes.
we
that's
love you.
amazing. And
Yes.
for real, you are more loved than you realize you are.
Aw. You're so
So.
positive. I love how my friends are so
Yeah.
positive. I feel like I'm pessimistic now. All my friends are like, "Oh, I wish I wasn't blocking the cat. Hold on, let me go to the no border." Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that.
What is that? Is that
That's
Alice?
Jillian. That's Jillian.
Oh, hi, Jillian. Oh, you're so
Honey.
pretty.
She's gonna stand here and scream and give
Oh,
booty
good.
pics.
Scream for us,
Good.
baby.
She gives booty pics for free. We're trying to get her to charge, but she won't listen.
Only
I
cats.
know.
Only paws.
Only pause. Only pause.
Oh,
So-
is that the cat without the teeth?
No, that's Gallifrey. Nobody will
Dang.
understand Gallifrey. He hides under the bed. And,
Aw.
well, okay, no, he doesn't. But he doesn't like things that are taller than him moving. If you sit down, he is like, "Hello, I'm baby," and I'm like, "Okay,
Aw,
you can
and
be baby."
We know you are, baby.
He's part Maine Coon, so we have to accept that he is baby because there can be only one,
Aw.
and he will ensure that it is him. And I'm like, you don't have to be a bully, Gallifrey. Yes, I do. Shut up.
Sounds
Okay.
like my Charlie boy. He's been making enemies in this kingdom.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Veggie has stories.
He's been so bad here recently. I don't know what to do.
Are you gonna turn me into biscuits live on TV?
Oh, we love biscuit
So
making.
naughty.
So
So scandalous.
the problem is Jillian, her claws go out no matter what. And I must have skin of steel because I can withstand it, and I have permanently pockmarked thighs because of her. Because she has to stand on the widest part of the lap and then starts making biscuits, and then she'll never sit down. And it's like hours upon hours of biscuits, and I'm like, I'm bleeding. Can we move on?
Nope, never.
No, mother, no.
No.
So we had questions before we go again.
Oh,
Because
okay.
this is who we are as people.
Let me see.
There was
Please
no
wait.
way.
Question: do we all three have ADHD? 'Cause
Yes.
I know I do. Tara does.
Um,
Veggie, do you complete the holy trinity of ADHD?
I've never been diagnosed. I stare
Oh.
off into space a lot. Does that count?
I mean, it really depends. I like to recommend that people get the diagnosis just because
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it. And I actually had I had an analysis done on me recently because I was tested when I was 3 years old. And
All
how
3-year-olds don't have an attention span. That is not a good age.
my symptoms were so severe that they had to test because I
Oh.
I was gone. Like if you've ever seen a 3-year-old that sits in one spot and stares at a wall for 4 hours.
Yeah, okay, that's alarming.
Yeah, so they took me in, and yeah, sure enough, I was ADHD. And then, as an adult, I was like, I really should go do this again. And yeah, it never got any better. I just developed more brain power, and it's the things that you
More
find
juice
out.
for the ADHD.
Exactly. If there are more brain cells, the ADHD can consume more. Funnily enough, the ADHD brain, the frontal lobe is 60% the size of a neurotypical brain. So if you have ADHD, part of what makes you different is that your frontal lobe is smaller. This does not affect intelligence in any capacity. That is a myth. It affects your ability to focus in a lot of ways, and this includes sensory focus, A lot of ADHD people don't realize that they are sick or in pain for a very long time until, well, the bubble popped and now I can't ignore it. Like, oh, now this consumes my entire attention span. Sorry. Fuck me, right? Like, you know. But, yeah. I always say get tested because you might, you know, you need to know for sure if you are struggling with that, because there are ways to help you that don't involve medication. And if it's not ADHD, it could be something else, like another form of a disorder that could be more easily managed than ADHD. And if it's not, well, you certainly took a chance and figured out something about yourself, didn't you? So it's, if you have access to it, do it, because you never know.
Yes, that's true.
It's like the statement that everybody should go see a therapist at least once, even if not a single bad thing has happened to them in their life. Because therapists are fantastic for bouncing ideas off of and organizing thoughts.
That is true.
It's interesting.
I work with a lot of therapists
CEOs.
at my job. And I'm just...
Oh, man.
We actually had one
Perfect
quit last
one.
week because they got attacked. So sorry.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah,
random...
that-
Sorry, what?
Well, you know, so I work at welfare, and we have therapists for our clientele, and we deal with a lot of homeless people. And I guess something happened in their session, and she attacked them in the room, and they had to escort her out. And he transferred the very next day. We're like, wow, he didn't even want to say bye to us. He's like, out of here.
I mean, if I got
know,
attacked at my job, I'd probably be out the next day.
I
get it.
I have
that's rough.
been like slightly assaulted
Oh, wow.
at my
No.
job.
Oh,
And but well, not that kind of assaulted, but you know, hit.
Ooh.
It was a 3-year-old, but that was the day I found out that a register worker, somebody working the register at the company that I worked for, we are not allowed to react in any way if we are hit ever.
So what did you
And
do?
I was like, I actually at the time, he came around the corner. He was only 3. And he smacked my leg. He was having a tantrum. His mother was actually trying to catch him. And he reared back and he smacked the heck out of me. And if you've ever been caught by a toddler in meltdown, that you realize the strength of the human body, like really, really quickly. Because I actually was stunned. And I straight faced it and bent my knee once the stun passed. And I said, honey, if you want to come around and grab him, he's probably going to stay here a minute because his hand is probably stinging. He literally hit me in the thigh, like, you know, pink belly slap, belly flop style. He flat palmed it, and he was stunned from the pain in his hand. The poor thing.
poor
and
thing.
She ran around
Sorry,
and grabbed
not for
him.
me.
It was, honestly, his tantrum was very much I would say it was very similar to an autistic meltdown, but in a 3-year-old,
Oh.
you can't really say, you can't tell at that point, unless you're doing like color testing and that kind of thing. But he was he was either overstimulated, he wasn't behaving like it was a tired tantrum, but it's not my child, so I can't tell you. But she came around to get him because if you've ever worked retail, clothing tags have a 2 to 3 inch sharp spike on the end of them, ink tags, and kids like things with color, and ink has colors. So, yeah, get the baby out from behind the register, please. He's gonna hurt himself. And I can't talk to him or stop him.
wow, such patience and
Oh no, I
Yeah,
have
I
no
don't have
patience.
that.
I don't have that. That was
Especially
at
not
work.
for kids. I'm sorry.
That was
I
at
have
work. I do
this
not.
much.
I can't. I don't have children for a reason.
Yeah.
oh, we're in the same boat, kind of.
I'm great with them at con. Oh my god, kids are the best when you're in costume.
Yeah.
Especially like Tara when I'm wearing the 7-foot
Aw.
cape. Oh my lord. And one of my favorite Tara stories does include a child. So
Let's hear it. Go for it.
Yeah, go.
we're gonna answer questions eventually, I'm sure. Like
We're probably already
like,
answering them all, just, you know,
Oh,
in a
yeah,
Socratic
yeah.
method way. A very...
We're just
Yeah.
gonna go around.
Yeah.
One of the we went to this convention north of us. It's I can't remember the name of it, but it is specifically a retro gaming convention. But it's more like a buy, sell, and trade. Or a place where a bunch of stores for old video games goes and they sell them. And then there will be like music performances and things like that. So there's not panels and there's not a lot of cosplay going on. There is some cosplay, but more limited. And I walk in with Paladin, and I'm in Terra. And I actually built a third cape. So I have a summer cape, which is a layer of dark royal purple chiffon over a layer of white chiffon. So this thing flutters, and it's kind of like a harness fit kind of thing. It's kind of cool to look at. I just haven't filmed in it. And I could actually walk fast for once. But the problem was we kept getting stomped every 10 feet.
Oh.
Because when you're a showstopper at a small convention, you're a showstopper. There's no two ways about it. She's made of velvet. You're gonna see her sometimes. I don't want you to see me. I'm going to scuttle off and hide. But so we were stressed. We were tired. We were just trying to get into the main room because I was desperately trying to find a copy of Dissidia for the PSP.
Ooh.
And I got rid of mine years ago, and I actually got the villain cover box this time, so I'm very excited. Kefka front and center, yes, okay. But so we're walking in, and then we're like frustrated, we're hot, we're tired. We get in, and I've got the enhancer, my sword, and like this woman totally freaks out. She's got a Final Fantasy VI t-shirt on. I am the last person she thought she'd see. She looks at my husband. She freaks out because he's Sprite Lock, like he walked right out of the game. It's awesome. And we're talking, we're doing pictures, we're all doing all kinds of stuff. And in the middle of all of this, I feel this tiny little hand touch my leg. And I look down thinking, okay, this is a dog. That is a 2-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
He could barely walk. Oh. And his brother was with him. And his brother was only like maybe 5. And something about putting the cosplay on changes my brain chemistry. Because without missing a beat, I flared the cape, turned around, and dropped into a full crouch. And this child had my entire attention. And for 10 minutes, all he did was run his hands over the various pieces of my costume. He was very tactile. Because, you know, at 2, you're tactile. And my leggings have rhinestone flowers on them. I like... They're individually placed, like it's just like 6 little rhinestones with a red dot in the middle. It's very cute, very easy to do, very fast. And but they're all over those leggings. So he was just sitting there touching all these little places on me. And then he had to touch all of the lace and then touch my hair and touch the sword because there's crystals and feathers and stuff hanging on the sword. And I never let people touch my sword. Ever. And this child is just... This 2-year-old who you never let touch a prop is just fascinated by the sword. And his dad is looking at me like, are you okay? And this poor woman in the corner is freaking out because that's Terra with the baby and oh my god, it's the game. And I'm like, we are soul sisters, my dear. High five. So that is probably one of my favorite interactions, specifically in this cosplay. All of my favorites. Although my favorites usually involve the reactions of children. My primary cape for this Terra is 7 feet long, with a layer of organza, and then this weird like embroidered and applique mesh thing with flowers on it. That I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut this into a shape and I'm gonna stitch it on, and that's less work for me. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna glue a ton more flowers onto it because I have 0 chill. And then the bottom is brushed velvet jacquard. And I took white fake flowers, and I painted them with alcohol dye. You take the well out of a Sharpie, and you toss it in some alcohol, and boom, alcohol dye for super cheaps. Throw it. And so I did that. They're purple and blue and pink, I think. I don't remember. I think it's just purple and blue. But those are on the bottom, plus there are rhinestones going all over. If it's not sparkly, I don't want it. I didn't know this about myself until a few years ago.
And now you're sparkly all over. One of my favorite things about you is every time I watch your TikToks, I'm like, she's so sparkly.
That's the point. If you can't see my highlighter from space, I have failed. Like, if we're not calling NATO going, she's out in public again, we have a problem. Okay. So, yeah, it's an ordeal. But let me tell you, little girls little girls that are in the princess phase and little boys that are not boys that are in their princess phase.
Aww.
Jaws hit the floor. Oh my god, she's a walking garden. The pink cape does it too. The one that's just flowers all the way down. Oh, it is the best thing in the world. The kids lose their minds over the cape. When we debuted Shala and Magus and actually participated in 2013 San Japan's cosplay contest, I want to say, yeah. The little girl who won the children's portion for her Sakura, Cardcaptor Sakura, was obsessed with Shala, had no idea who she was, but loved the costume and had to touch it and needed a hug from the princess. And I was like, this is what it's about, okay? Like, we're here for it. So yeah, that doesn't even cap the time. My poor husband watched me drop to my knees in white bridal satin because two little girls came running at me down a hallway and I caught one in each arm on the floor. It was dead of winter, so I had antlers, a white wig, these massive draping sleeves. They were so excited. They knew it was a cosplay. So I knew I didn't have to be in character, which was amazing. And just one girl in each arm, and all they wanted was to hug me because I had this great big bridal gown on and antlers, and oh my god, that's the biggest thing they've ever seen. And I was like, I mean, it's not, but okay. That one, all I hear from behind me, these girls start running, and I drop my bag, no question. And from behind me, I hear my husband Paladin go, yep, and I hit the floor. I was like, you didn't need to call me out. Like, call me out. For real. So that was, yeah, something that you can never forget. You know, you hear amusement park people all the time talking about.
Say you should work for Disney.
Oh no, I'd lose my mind. They treat their people horribly, but I mean, if I could, I wouldn't even need the wig for Ariel. Like, let's go. Well, okay, it's the wrong shade of red, but anyway. But yeah, I probably would have if I was a kid. I would have loved it. Party princesses have so much fun. They really do. Once you get back past the jerks, they end up having a lot of fun. And they all say the same thing. The children are why you do it. And I'm like, I never understood it.
Too awkward for that.
Yeah, I never understood it until a little girl, and it was that Sakura was the first one that wanted anything to do with me, the first child, and that was in Shala. And the look on her face, that look of wonder. I had a great big fluffy blue ponytail, big purple dress. My husband is wearing the Magus's big blue cape. He's looking very imposing. Yes. And she just, all of these cosplayers around her, amazing big builds, and she saw blue and purple and went right for me. Aww. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. My whole heart. But she wasn't the only one we messed up that convention. It was hilarious. That was the one we got the judges award for. And that award means more to me than anything that I have accomplished ever since. With that Shala and Magus. We had to park a quarter mile away at the Tower of the Americas parking lot, and we ran around on the sidewalk. I think it was July, and I'm sweating. I'm wearing 9 yards of crepe-back satin lined in not cotton, not broadcloth. It's the one in between. I don't remember what it's called right now, but I'm in that. I'm dying. I have a very big ponytail on. I'm suffering. I'm sweating. And we get inside and they tell us, oh, you're going to go here for the cosplay contest judging. They weren't there. Ooh. We were told the wrong thing, so we had to run around to another part of the hotel. And I was pissed when we arrived. God. I was feeling the dehydration. We had only been outside for like 15 minutes, and I was feeling it.
I'm already stressed for you right now in this story.
Like, the delay there, like one of the delays was one of our friends stopped us, who's a photographer, stopped us and was like, I have got to get pictures. And they are some of my favorite pictures of my life. But we walk in, and there's nobody there. There's like one person ahead of us. And they had been breaking up the line. So this judge checks this person. This was in 2013. So the judging process at this particular convention was a lot lighter because it wasn't a bigger convention. This was San Japan. And so they were dividing up, okay, 1, 2, 3, whatever your place in line is, you go to the next open judge. And the guy that we were supposed to go to took one look at us when we turned to come up the aisle and said, nope, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. You cannot make me. And he just like dropped everything. He said, I'm not doing this. And
What?
we didn't understand. I was like, what is going on? And they started tearing up and said, I have never seen anyone cosplay from my favorite video game.
Oh my gosh.
And then I started crying.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Their favorite video game was Chrono Trigger. And it was Shala and Magus. The most tragic ass shit in that game. Okay. So it was a double whammy. And the way we talked about the cosplay is, obviously we talk about how important they are to us, that kind of thing. They are listening to us go on and on about this. And we just kept blowing their mind over and over again. It was the presence, it was the addiction to the game, it was the this changed my life story, all of that, because it did. It all did. And they, like, you can still find the video. It's of them giving it to us. And I broke. I completely broke. Like, that was when we talk about cosplay competitions, it's always about the big prize. And now there's an argument, if you've seen any of Hack's videos on TikTok trying to explain cosplay crafting competitions, people are calling them problematic. Not everybody can take part. Well, when it's a craftsmanship competition, it's craftsmanship. You don't judge, let's say a musician, a world-class violinist cannot compete as a violinist at the Olympics. So you can't take a non-craftsmanship item to specifically a craftsmanship contest. It's not what it's about. But so many more conventions have started having masquerades where your stage presence is what wins you. So you can have a purchase cosplay and all that. It's becoming so much more open. It is so much better than when I started in 2007. Oh my God. But anyway, so if you've ever seen any of her stuff explaining that, it was just, we all talk about going for the trophy now. And everybody wants the big trophy and the $1,000 of prize money and all of that. And I'm just sitting there with this little medal that I don't know where it is right now. It's usually hanging on one of my pictures, this little tiny medal that has the SJ for the San Japan symbol that year. And that is probably the most precious thing I have ever got from cosplaying.
Aww.
And we made an individual cry. And I'm like, that's it.
Aww.
That's it. That is what I want for the rest of my cosplay career. I want to make people feel like that. That was in 2013. That was 10 years ago. And here I am, let me tell you.
Now
my God.
Now you're making me cry when I watch your TikToks. I literally, with that Rydia, when you, was it a debut? But you're like, bah! With your little chain. And I was like, oh my God. I literally gasped. I was like, on my phone, clutching my pearls. Like, did she just pull a Rydia?
Okay, so the funny thing about that's a Christmas garland. Okay, it's like 9 feet long. And the joke in the house was, this looks like anal beads. This is even better for Rydia. Like, just go. That Rydia was falling apart as I wore her. I used a Yaya Han pattern, which if... I don't know how some of her patterns get past QC for the companies that producing them, because I cut out a size 14 and should have cut out a 22 apparently.
Ooh.
The way this fit me, and I'm like, can I fake it enough to surprise the stream tonight and record? Yes. Okay. And then I remade the dress. It's the same design, same fabric, all of that. And as I'm doing this, I'm like, there is no way this tiny little dress is going to stay down over my butt. And then I'm like, because I'm going to make her a convention build, I've decided. And I'm sitting here designing all at once, like, how do I make she's got that scapular piece, the long loincloth looking thing in a lot of hers where it's front and back. And I'm sitting here going, how do I want to do that so I can take it on and off so I don't have to wear that every time I film in it? So I'm devising like a belt that will sit under the corset and all of that. The corset will hold in place because I'm always going to be wearing a corset for back support and all of that. And she was interesting. I made her really, really fast. She was a last minute decision when I was playing Final Fantasy IV. And prior to that, like a couple months beforehand, I walked out of this room because I had that ADHD, I'm going to do a thing. I look at my husband and I go, I think it's time for me to make Rydia. Okay. 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 All right. I married that man because he said Final Fantasy IV about a second before I was about to, so.
Oh.
Okay. No, I'm not kidding. His name is Paladin because of Final Fantasy IV. That's not his real name. But yeah, I was literally, we were having a conversation about D&D on the phone. We were long distance at first. It's a horrible story. Hi, I wrecked my own marriage. Anyway, and I've been happily married for almost 13 years. Like, let's go. So like when, okay. It's how I got to cosplaying again. Like I lost very suddenly 180 pounds by throwing him out the front door and upgraded. Like, okay. It was fantastic. But so Final Fantasy IV is important to him. And I made her split second decision. I had to stop playing Legend of Legaia because I only play one game at a time because I have ADHD and I don't got time to jump around. I don't. And I actually told them we were going to be playing 4. I had been pushing off 4 so I didn't blow through all of my favorite games in the first year because they got, Final Fantasy VI obviously was the first. That's why I started. And then Final Fantasy V, then Chrono Trigger. They got a lot out of me right away. They got me to play Live Alive, which, oh my god, is the silliest game and simultaneously, the best game. It was so good. That boss theme didn't have to go that hard. It was like, have y'all ever seen the movie Blade?
The vampire movie?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Okay, the raves scene in the beginning where it has that really epic techno, like industrial techno going on, it hits like that.
Oh.
This is woof. Oh, it is that good. Like 15-year-old me came up out of my throat and said, "Are we finally going to a rave, mother?" No, we're not. But damn, I'm now headbanging on stream. Great idea. But yeah, so back to it. How I told them that we were finally playing Final Fantasy IV was I got into Rosa, flipped the camera over, and they saw Rosa, and that's how they knew. And they started freaking screaming in chat. Like, there was just a bunch of A's, and then it was, like, so excited. I saw Holy Rosa from one of my sweet little ones, and, like, oh my god, it was so cute.
Your Rosa is amazing.
Thank you.
She's so shiny and glittery.
Okay. Have you seen Mist and Meadow on TikTok? The main Rydia cosplayer. There is a Rydia cosplayer who is very dear to my heart, accidentally. Who found me on TikTok when my first videos of Rosa were going up, and she was bad. Like, she was just a tank top with Terra's cape, like safety pinned on, and then the wig with this really bad bun. But anyway, I was learning, and she like duet them in this flawless Rydia. I mean, that is the so good, and. So we like started this side correspondence, and then now I can't live without her.
Aww.
I can't. She's incredible. I actually went to Holiday Matsuri to meet her. And
wow, that's far for you.
It's in Florida. Yeah. There's a very long drive.
What's her name again? What's her?
You drove?
Mist and Meadow.
Mist and Meadow.
Yep. You're gonna love her. You are gonna love her. She is so good.
After this, I'll look her up.
Rydia to her is what Terra is to me. We just keep rebuilding it over and over again. And oh my god, so it was a whole thing. We were making jokes behind the scenes and like planning stuff and being silly. Like she's about to drop some cosplays that'll knock your socks off. Like we both had cosplay ideas at the same time for the same character. So like we're living our best lives over here. Like, okay, so I will duet your version of this character and be slutty if you duet my version of that character and be equally slutty. And we're like, okay, it's goals. Okay,
so Mama, there's a few, so we always end by 9 because some of us are old, like...
no, I feel you.
But there's some people, they have questions for you in the chat, and I want to make sure their questions get answered, because I don't want chat to be like, what about my question? So let me see.
Well, ask me a question.
So someone, hold on, it was Leshy. He says, Tara, does the theme of love from Final Fantasy IV always make you tear up, or is it just me?
Yeah, it does. When Paladin and I renew our vows at some undetermined point in the future, we have already chosen the theme of love. We got married to Tara in Black.
Oh, wow.
Which Wise Drums actually did a drum cover. He added drums to Tara in Black from YouTube. And I want to send him Theme of Love to see what he can do for it. But I first played all of the Final Fantasy games that I did, all the retro, silent. My computer didn't have a sound card, and I wasn't allowed to play PlayStation. We weren't allowed to have video games because my mother's a psycho. But we had computers because my father's a computer engineer. My brother borrowed, and this is relevant to Theme of Love, so hang on with me. My brother borrowed a PlayStation, and you'll both like this. My brother borrowed a PlayStation because Final Fantasy VII had come out. And he was actually a Final Fantasy fan. The first Final Fantasy I saw was 3, actual 3, on his Mac, in '92. And so he was playing 7, and I was awestruck. Oh my god, this is the coolest thing in the world. And I was dancing to the Cosmo Canyon theme in the kitchen. And Final Fantasy VII and I, we don't get along anymore, for very good reason. Don't worry. I am a whore for Aerith and Tifa cosplayers. Y'all keep it alive for me. Y'all are what make it happen. Like, you unanimously decided we were all gay.
That's what we do. I
know that shippers are ruining it for so many people because they're bad shippers, but like, it's the good ones that are keeping this alive. Like, let's be honest here. Do you think Cloud is carrying this game? You're kidding yourself.
No,
honey.
Absolutely not.
This is carried on Tifa's tits, not even her back. Like, we're going. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm a little bananas. But, so, I'm dancing. And what actually happened, how I got into this, the first video game I ever played was The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And he was playing it on this tiny little 6-inch emergency TV, all plugged into the component, so it was in black and white. And I'm sitting on my brother's filthy couch. My mother was 41 a month after I was born, which leads to all of my crazy, really dark headcanons about Final Fantasy VI because I absorbed so much educational TV. My father was a Vietnam veteran. I had understandings of things that kids shouldn't have really early, like PTSD and what combat does to a person, that kind of thing. And so I'm sitting on his couch. He's 8 years older than I am. And he comes in and I'm playing it. I'm fighting Ganon. He is at the end of the game. And I'm fighting Ganon. And I have never touched a controller in my life.
Oh my god,
and
Ganon.
I'm stupid. And he comes in and he starts to yell and how are you not dead? And I'm still to this day convinced that he was high because he had me scoot aside, sat down, started a new file, and wanted to watch me do it to prove that I was actually doing it. And then I saw Final Fantasy VII several years later, that he wouldn't let me touch it because it was his friend's PlayStation, and Mom couldn't throw it in the garbage because it was his friend's PlayStation. Okay? And he wouldn't let me touch it because I was his annoying little sister. So I turn around and I go to the computer, and my thought process at 10 years old, Final Fantasy VII is new. And the internet is new. It was not. It was created in the 70s. Carrying on. So I found ROMs for 4, 5, and 6, and the nation was born. And I played Chrono Trigger. So I played the first 4, 5, and 6 concurrently. And I played all of those games with no sound.
Wow.
And the day that we got a sound card, I turned my games on. I had gotten a new emulator and everything, so everything was new. I turned my games on, and I heard Terra's theme for the first time. And I started bawling.
Aww.
I restarted the game so I could hear it, because I was already obsessed with the character. Terra is the reason that I am alive. And I am not kidding you. She has saved my life multiple times, including getting me out of a horrible marriage. She is also the reason I did not send my ex to a hospital. That is a funny story. Okay, it involves Terra. It's hilarious. But then I turned and I went back to Final Fantasy IV, and I restarted. And I was hearing the Red Wings, and I was blown away. And it was the coolest thing in the world. Like, this isn't Final Fantasy VII, but damn, this kind of looks better, you know? There's more color, it's easier to look at, I'm not confused by polygons. I have synesthesia. So looking at the original Final Fantasy VII, I, like, tasted things I didn't want to taste. Like Cloud, I did not consent to tasting you.
Oh.
You don't taste good.
I'm sorry, what did you say you have?
Synesthesia.
I've never heard of that.
All of my senses are interconnected. So sound has sensation, color, feel, taste, all of them are associated. It's crazy.
Can you taste
gosh.
me right now?
I'm sorry?
Can you taste me right now?
Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay. No. No, you're actually using a shade of green that does not hurt me. Lime green actually makes me sick and dizzy.
What?
And it sounds like TV static. If you were to put TV static on your tongue, it would reverberate underneath and into your eardrum by the wrong route. And when you're listening with synesthesia and you're hearing things that don't make noise, you hear it. I can't like show it to you. There's a space below your ear where your jugular
I think I know
goes
where it
up
is.
and splits and goes up into your brain. That's where you hear stuff from.
Oh my,
So
this is all news to me. I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, it's really cool,
I
actually.
didn't
Like,
know that was a thing.
when I found out what it was and found out that it was not something everybody did, I was like, this is the coolest thing in the world. And if you ever need to experience it, go to TikTok or go to YouTube and type in Vanta Black Car, which is the blackest black that's ever been created. You will experience synesthesia because the car looks fuzzy. Because of the way that the tubes, Vanta is an acronym, vertically aligned something. Basically, the color tubes are aligned a specific way to absorb light, and that alignment makes the car look fuzzy. That is what synesthesia is like. It's cool. Everybody should go
Never heard of
experience
that. That
it.
is so cool.
Yeah, they
Vanta?
don't talk about it.
How do you spell it? V-A-N-T-A?
Yep, Vanta Black Car. And the reason I say car is so you can see it in motion. It's very cool.
Like that to me later, Veggie, because I'll forget, but I want to know.
Yeah, you want
It's
to
weird.
taste
It's really
what you
weird.
see.
People's voices usually have sound and color to me. One of my dear friends is rich magenta. I have a friend who's a very deep purple. My husband is Prussian blue. It's amazing. I have a friend who is the darkest mahogany wood tones you have ever like possibly imagined. And
Well, I
they
can't
do
even
not have a
imagine
deep
it.
voice. It's so cool. They do
Yeah.
not have a deep voice. Like, wow. But yeah, so this is easier. I'm not tasting Cloud. I'm serious. This is going back to the theme of love. And I'm there for it. This is the Red Wings. You know, oh my god, that's Baron. Holy crap, this is so cool. And then Rosa comes up the stairs. And the song starts. And like just thinking about it now, all of the chills all the way up my body, because it is a MIDI file, but they did everything through a recorder and then translate and then put it into the game. That single lonely note at the very beginning, I was gone. I was blown away. It did it to me again. The same thing Terra's theme did, and I have forever been Nobuo Uematsu's slave.
We all are.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, the king.
Oh, hell, the king, man. I don't know. Final Fantasy's got some really good new composers now. Oh, man. 16 is after my life.
I haven't played it
damn.
yet. I'm the
I
loser
haven't
of the
played
group.
it yet.
Oh, I
No,
thought
but I
I was
haven't-
the loser of the group. Okay.
But you haven't played 15, Veggie.
I
And
haven't
15
played
is-
since 12 and up. I'm like,
Oh, my God. But at least you played 12. Whew. That is
Yeah,
one of my
12 is good.
favorite ones. Oh, man. 12 hits like a truck. But yeah, 16, There are some severe trigger warnings on 16, and I can give spoiler-free trigger warnings at any time. But I would rather take them to DMs. But if you haven't played 16 yet, they said Game of Thrones, but they meant the aesthetic. This tackles some concepts that are darker than Game of Thrones, that are significantly more realistic. It is some of the things that they said to us about the release of this, I think, were blatant lies because of the context included. And specifically their reason for not including dark-skinned people. When you see the context, you will understand. They did something very intelligent to highlight that they have an understanding of something that they never had before. Square Enix has gone into the future at the hands of Yoshi P and Kitase at the helm. Somebody in Japan sat down with a textbook and learned some shit. Like,
okay,
do you mean you understand the word problematic now? Like, okay. But the game will make you very angry at some of the side quests. So when you go in, make sure that you can handle some heavy connotations. I think by saying dark-skinned, I think I've got it across what the concept is. But, like, yeah, it's really, really good, though. And I was very convinced that the main character was going to be one of those stoic cloud types. No. He is a very good boy.
Oh.
Like, I was not ready.
Like
I was
Tidus.
not ready. Yeah, but not goofy. Like, he's
okay.
emotionally complete. Like, more like Zidane, but again, not goofy.
Okay.
Not grabby. He is very much a emotionally complete character. He's struggling, but, like, reasonably. Check him out. He's great.
Alexa, play Despacito. I knew you were talking to Alexa.
So, yeah, that theme of love just is one of those that, you know, came out of nowhere. And after all of that experience and all that build-up and silence after hearing Cosmo Canyon is one of them that just, I'm sorry, you are a forever fan. This is now one of your favorite games. And by the way, do you know the name Kane Highwind, honey? Because he is your first love, and you are going to be in love with that man until the day you die. And I'm like, I don't deserve this. And my brain said, nobody deserves Kane, honey. We're plebs. I'm sorry.
Well, Tara, I have to say you are like a Final Fantasy game, because I think this interview is going to have to be in 4 parts, because...
Oh my goodness.
Because Hickory has to go to sleep.
Yeah, sorry, y'all.
I didn't even notice the time, but yeah.
It was amazing. I just love listening to you talk. I think a lot of people did, because
we... go off on tangents, but, like, there's a lot that I could talk about, like... there's all this stuff that goes into Final Fantasy in general, like, what's inspired, what it's inspired by, the truths and horrors of humanity that they've done, and all this, you're getting this game series, this epic story out of a country that we dropped nuclear bombs on. It's gonna be a story, like, it's gonna be a day. And then there's the etymology of Terra's name. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is just so good, and we were having, like, too much fun.
So, would you be willing to come back to have another...
Yeah, definitely.
Because I do like listening to you, and I think the chat loves it as well. So
I mean, I don't, but...
You don't? Aw, well then maybe not.
My streams are basically long-winded conversations. In which I never shut up.
Oh yeah, I need to follow you. And then tell us your stream schedule. Tell us about your Twitch, your stream... Oh my god, I can't even talk. Stream schedule.
It's really, really easy. I picked times that would make sense for... I call it the stream for people with jobs and kids.
Yes,
I wouldn't call it kid-friendly. I wouldn't call it kid-friendly at all. But it is only twice a week. It is Tuesdays. Wednesdays and Sundays. So Hump Day and Fun Day.
Okay.
At 6:30 p.m. CST. And so I think for you guys that's like you're 2 hours behind me, I think. So 4:30? Yeah, 4:30. And it's the same game every time. And we only go for 2 hours and 15 minutes max. Because I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. We get that. We definitely get that.
We gotta go to bed.
Well, guys, everybody in the chat, make sure you follow Mama Tara on TikTok, Instagram, follow her Twitch, and...
They all have different names. It's hilarious.
But if they put Mama Tara, they'll probably find you, because every time I type Mama Tara into Instagram, it brings up the sorcery and...
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
That's amazing!
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's sword and sorcery cosplay, yeah.
Yeah, sword and sorcery.
We were like, we need a name. Let's name ourselves after this movie genre that is amazing and we love it and terrible, and it was in the 80s.
Oh, hey, we love that here.
Conan the Barbarian and Krull and every bad movie from the 80s. Like, we love it.
Well, say bye to chat. Thank you, chat. We love you.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry about all this.
You're so funny, Tara.
Chatterbox.
Oh my gosh. Stream ending scene. Bye, guys. We love you.